Actually going to do two meditations today. I want to do the. I'm just getting a feeling for it, so not sure. There's no logical reason, but I want to do the chakra activation meditation to start with, and then we'll do the Ascension meditation, and we'll have some conversation around that. I hope everybody's doing well, healthy, aligned. Hope we're all doing well today, and everything's going well. I guess while we're waiting for folks, I did want to just, I guess I've said this several times before, but if this is the first time you're hearing it, I am going to be moving the community to another platform, a more private platform. And in the beginning, it's going to be by invitation. Let's just say that it'll be open to the public. Like everyone can go there and be in a public chat, but it's also going to be a space where we'll be able to have private. It's a little bit. It's like Discord. I'm familiar with Discord, and other people I know are familiar with Discord. It's similar to Discord in a lot of ways, different slash better than Discord in other ways. But we'll be able to have private sections where we will actually start doing the organizational work of the collective. So everyone can go to the collective. You'll have to be invited to become a member. How do you get invited? Well, if you show up to the live events and you participate and you're here and we know who you are and you're a frequent visitor, you'll be invited because we're just we the site will be for everyone, anybody, but it's in the inner circle, so to speak. It's going to be by invitation, and I've really put a lot of thought into this versus growing the collective as large as we possibly can, as fast as we possibly can, because I know we can do some really good work that way. Um, but I'm becoming more and more interested in keeping the um, not I don't want to use the word secret because that's not at all what I mean. There's nothing secret about it. I want to keep the work private so that we can do the pure work. And then, of course, the next part is the complicated part. Once I get a group of people on a regular diet of fifth and sixth and seventh dimensional work and meditation, and then we start to do organizational work for the collective and start to pursue our mission. Um, the question is then, how do you embrace other people? How do you bring other people into the community who don't have that same baseline of knowledge, who don't have the same, who have, just come from a random background with a random set of beliefs? And, when you meet 10 people, you're meeting 10 completely different, unique people, each with their own background, their own level of interest, their level of expertise, their lifestyle. Everything's completely different. Their politics are different. Everybody's different. So how do you welcome kind of diverse people into a community that is about kind of like deep study and deep inner work? So I guess what I'm saying is I'm starting to want to keep the collective about deeper work rather than broader expansion. And I believe that if we do the deeper work, we'll plant really deep roots. Our community will be tight and aligned, and we'll all be on the same page. And then I believe the people who want to be there, or the people who need to be there, the people who need to find us will find us, and the people who we need to find will find somehow. So I just wanted to share that, and you'll be seeing some emails about that. I'm working on building the space first. It's a platform called Circle. So I'm working this week, next week on building the platform, getting so like a welcome post, just a couple of things not a couple of things, a long list of things that I have to get done to do that. And then we'll start inviting people over. And as I said, then you may get invited to like an inner circle, where we'll do the real work. And when I say the real work, I mean the deeper work of the collective and some of the organizational work to help support us as a collective and grow moving forward. So for all of those of you who are new, welcome Marcia and Carolyn. Welcome back, Carolyn and Marcia. Welcome. That's a new name. Haven't seen that. So I welcome all of you folks. Those of you who are here many times. Those of you who are here first time tonight. This is our Ascension workshop. And what we're going to do today, I'm going to do two meditations. Normally, we just do the 4D, the 5D, sixth and seventh dimensional meditation, and we will do that. But for some reason, I feel like today I wanted to do another meditation before we start that. I want to do the chakra activation meditation. And so, by way of background, we'll just start getting into that. By way of background, this chakra activation meditation is sort of like a summary meditation of a longer meditation, a longer Taoist meditation that is extracted it from a book called The Secret of the Golden Flower. That book was written in 825 AD by a very enlightened Taoist master. And 825 AD happened to be like the height of Taoism in China, the height of philosophy, the height of Taoism. Science was flourishing, astronomy, Taoism, spiritual conversations. It was a beautiful time. It's called the Tang Dynasty in China, and it kind of represents the peak of Chinese civilization. And there was a Taoist master, his name was Lu Dongbin. And we're really, really very fortunate to have this book, The Secret of the Golden Flower, because it's his teachings, like his personal teachings to his students who would take notes. Then they would give the teacher back his notes, and Lu Dongbing edited the notes and came out with this book called The Secret of the Golden Flower. And what's unique about this book is it's not really about Taoism. He's a Taoist. All the students that he taught were Taoist. He lived in a, Taoist community, a Taoist nation at that point. And the book, though, is not about Taoism. It describes a meditation to activate the light consciousness within you, or this magnetic light consciousness that resides within you. And he refers to it as the golden flower. And so the more you do the work, the more the golden flower will bloom. It begins to generate its own consciousness, and your entire light body, just picture these ancient Taoists, they were able to cultivate the light body within themselves. And so what this meditation that we're going to do is a very simplified version of that meditation. And what it is we're going to take a ball of light at the base of our spine. We'll do this in a minute. And we're going to rise that ball of light through the chakras. And I'll talk more about that as we do it. And then keep it overhead for a heartbeat or two or three heartbeats, and then lower the light back down through the seven chakras. And in this way, you are reconditioning, waking up your energetic system, waking up your chakra system. So let's just do the meditation. I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on where it comes from. All right. So if you're in a spot where you can close your eyes, you want to do that and just relax, just release all tension. Any projecting or emotions, just get rid of everything. Just let all the tension, the stress, whatever you're holding, just let it all flow out of your body, flow right down into the ground, out of your arms. Relax your face, your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. Just relax. And I want you to know that I'm going to turn on some background music because we're going to do that other meditation also. Give me 1 second. There we go. It's right there. All right. Close your eyes, release all tension, stress, worry. Don't worry about anything. Just let it all flow out of your body. I want you to notice, even with your eyes closed, your awareness is still projecting outward. Maybe you're wordifying or thinking about things. Your light, if we're using Taoist terminology, your light is projecting outward. And if you know anything about Taoism, they're really big on conserving energy, conserving your light. So I want you to do something that's called reversing the light. I want you, instead of projecting outward, it's a very subtle thing. I want to reverse your awareness to inside your being. And this is called your inner sight. And even if all you see is darkness, that's okay, because you're preserving your light, you're projecting your light, your awareness, your attention, your focus inside your own being. And if at any time today, or at any time when you do your meditation, if you find yourself projecting outward, just say the word reverse, reverse the light to within, and let it sink. And another picture you can imagine is, as your attention and focus is within, I want you to imagine the image of a rock sinking into the deep ocean, deeper and deeper and deeper. Draw your attention and your focus deeper and deeper into your inner being. Find your diaphragm, put your inner sight on your diaphragm. Don't force it, just observe it, watch what happens. And just observe that breathing process for 2 or 3 or 4 breaths. It would be more accurate to refer to yourself as an energetic being rather than a physical being, because the truth is that the physical atoms simply wrap themselves or form themselves around the energetic structure. You are an energetic structure, and it flows through you, around you. You've got that aura. If you can reach your hands out to the edge of where you can reach your hands out, you've got that aura. Your energy is flowing. You are an energetic being. Most people, certainly in our society, most people, their energy system is blocked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a meditation right now where you can clear all the obstructions out of your energy system, all the blockages. Now, the main part of your energy system runs right down the spine. It's not the spine, or it's not in the spine. These are your 7 chakras, and they generally run along your spine. Your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus chakra. It's important to note, just even by the time you just get up to your belly button, you already have 3 very important chakras. And then the energy system continues: your heart chakra, your throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra, which is half in your head and half outside your head. And then there's an 8th chakra called the light chakra, which is about 15 inches above your head. And this central channel, this is called your central channel. This central channel is the highway, the superhighway of your energy system. Your energy flows through these chakras, and each chakra is kind of like a flower. It has like different petals that go off in different directions. So energy channels run out of your chakra, and they run to all different parts of your body, and they run outside your body. So if you can clear this central channel, or let's say it this way, if there's any obstruction in your central channel, well, then energy to other parts of your body is also being obstructed or blocked. So we're going to clear this chakra system. And this is my personal meditation. I've done this now closing in on 2 years, pretty much every day. And it's a reconditioning or a softening of your energy system. So this is not meant to just do once. This meditation is meant to do every day. And in the book, Meditation for Life, this is actually meditation number 3. So with your inner sight, I want you to imagine this chakra system, this central channel that runs from your tailbone all the way up through the crown of your head. And I want you to imagine a ball of light, maybe a little bit smaller than a tennis ball, in your root chakra. And that ball of light is alive. It's living energy, living light, living magnetic light. And it's just circulating in your root chakra. And on the next inhale, I want you, as air comes into your lungs, I want that ball of light, in proportion to your inhale, to rise up through the central channel. And when you do the whole full inhale, I want you to rise that ball of light right up to the light chakra. Hold it there for 2 or 3 heartbeats, and then allow that light on the exhale to go right back through the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, etc., all the way down back to the root chakra, On the exhale, hold it for a heartbeat or two, and then on the next breath again, rise that ball of light. So let's do that now. Breathe in. And as that ball of light slowly rises through your central channel, each time it reaches one of your chakras, I want you to imagine that that ball of light is energizing that chakra, tickling the chakra, vibrating the chakra, waking it up. Chakra is a Sanskrit word. It literally means spinning wheel. So imagine these chakras as little gentle pinwheels that are flowing balls of energy, flowing pinwheels of energy. And as the ball of light rises, it's flowing and waking up, activating, tickling each of these chakras. The total meditation is 12 breaths, but I'm going to do 9 breaths right now. Just do it with me. Take your time. I'm going to go nice and slow. We're going to go to 9 breaths, and then I'll show you on the last 3 breaths an added technique. So for now, just rise and fall that light with each breath, waking up, activating, tickling each chakra, and allowing the energy to flow through the whole system. And not only do I want you to picture this light rising through your central channel using your inner sight, I want you to feel, if you can, just a slight tickling along your spine as the light rises and falls. Get sort of a kinesthetic experience as well as an inner sight experience. If I'm going too slow and you've already got to 9, just keep going. Keep rising and falling that light through your central channel, tickling, activating, massaging each of those chakras so that they can flow and remove all obstructions from your central channel. So in my morning and evening meditation, I do this 9 times, and on the last 3, so it's a total of 12. On the inhale, the same exact thing. That ball of light rises and goes through the chakras, wakes them up, tickles them. What we're going to do now is on the exhale, I'm going to say the word Om, not for a religious reason, but because Om creates a vibration. And I want to direct that vibration to the whole central channel from the top of my crown down to my root. So when I say Om on the way down, I want it to be like a guitar string. Boom, boom, you pluck boom, the whole central channel vibrates. So I'll do it 3 times, and then this would round out 12 breaths. Rise the light through the central channel. Hold it at the top for 2 or 3 heartbeats. And on the exhale, Om. I want you to feel your whole central channel like you're a guitar string. Boom. That's going to vibrate the whole thing. Again. That's the central channel activation, where you're literally recognizing that you're energy and you're waking up the whole energy system and allowing the whole thing to flow. And that Om at the end vibrates each of the chakras, vibrates them into health and vibration. I just felt like I wanted to start off with that today. A couple of things. This inner sight that we talked about, those of you who joined while we were doing the meditation, you kind of missed the original instructions. So when you reverse your awareness and you're essentially putting your attention inside your own being, that is an ability or a skill that just you get better at it over time. Because I know there's something called aphantasia where people can't see pictures. They can close their eyes. You know, you can picture a beach with palm trees and kids playing with a beach ball. You can just picture it, but some people can't. I'm more to the aphantasia side where I have difficulty. Me, I just see darkness usually. So it's something that you can develop over time. And what you're really doing, if you can't see, of course, if you can see your central channel, if that's something you can imagine and see and you feel comfortable with that, by all means, that's great. But for those of us who can't see and just see darkness, what you want to do is you simply want to draw your attention to that physical location where the chakras are located and just observe the light going through them, staying at the top, and then reversing. So this thing about central channel, this thing about inner sight, it is not easy. It's not something that you just turn on. It's something that even if you're not good at it, and I'm definitely not good at it. Even if you're not good at it, it's just something, just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Because when you're reversing your awareness, that little subtle thing from the outward projection to looking inside, simply focusing on the inside is 90% of what you're trying to do. You're trying to stop projecting and you want to look inside, sink that attention deep, and then feel that light rising up and down, or whatever other meditation that we're doing. It all starts with this inner sight. Some people picture that better like as a piston where instead of a ball of light, it's like a piston that's driving through the central channel and coming back down. Other people like a smoke pipe. I don't know why they don't call it a bong anymore, like when I was in college. Like a smoke pipe, seeing the light rise like a smoke pipe through the central channel. That's another way that other people visualize it. Whatever works for you. Vocalizing Om made a major difference for me. Not only felt like I had a longer exhale, but also felt a vibration resonating through the body. That's the point. And the point, John, is yeah, your body, but the real point is these little chakras that need to be, you need to pay attention to them and vibrate them. If you get deeper into this, you have much more time. There are more advanced things I can show you where you can like literally vibrate each chakra one at a time and get the whole thing woken up and activated. It's really quite a nice feeling. And if you do it over a long period of time, your energy level will just increase because the flow of energy is increasing. And that's what that meditation is about, to get the whole system flowing. Get the whole system flowing. That's what that meditation is about. It's not about spiritual ascension. It's not about anything else. And Derek, it's also in the book, Meditation for Life. That is meditation number 3 in this book. Just FYI. Brief commercial. All right, that's that. All right. So let's talk about higher dimensional ascension. Let's talk about that briefly. And I don't have any planned comments. I'm just saying this. We understand this higher dimensional ascension, 4th dimension understanding, 5th dimensional understanding, 6th and 7th dimensional understanding. And for those of you that stay for the long term, over time, I'll talk about the 8th, 9th, and 10th dimension, at least according to my dimensional model, which I didn't make up, comes from some of the enlightened texts that I've read. And I've done my own interpretation and my own exploration, so to speak. But it's important to understand that when you ascend, when you do a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th dimensional meditation, or any type of meditation that takes you out of 3-dimensional awareness, that kind of shuts that world off and takes you into other ways of thinking, reorienting your thinking, or reorient, just like an elevator button. If I want to be in the 7th dimension, I can go to the 7th dimension and experience that for a time. Once you have that understanding, it's really important to know that nothing external changes. When you come out of the meditation, you're in the same room, in the same house, with the same wife, same kids, same grandkids, same number in my bank account. Nothing changed. It doesn't change anything in the 3-dimensional world. But what it does is it changes you from the inside. You can't unlearn these higher dimensional principles. Once you've experienced them, you know they're there. And even if you don't do the meditation ever again, you do it just this one time tonight, never do it again, you know that you're not a 3-dimensional being. Yeah, that is an aspect of you. And we've been spending an awful lot of time in that 3-dimensional space for a lot of reasons, because no one ever explained this to us. But you don't have to spend all your time in the 3-dimensional space. And the goal is to spend more and more time in higher dimensional experience so that you can take what you learn there, take those experiences, and then bring them back into your 3-dimensional life and weave these higher dimensional principles, these higher dimensional experiences, these feelings, this knowledge and wisdom that you're gaining in higher dimensional understanding, and bring it to your relationships, bring it to your work, bring it to your health and the way you eat and the way you exercise. We all have to do these 3-dimensional things. And in fact, we who are ascending or are working on ascending have an extra obligation when we are in the 3-dimensional world, is that we have an obligation to be healthy, to be kind and generous, to be aligned, to be working on ourselves, to be a better person. Because you realize that this 3-dimensional person that you are is just because you didn't know you were something else. You didn't know that you had other abilities. And as you start to open these latent abilities, not only do you feel healthier and more aligned and more abundant, but it also gives you an obligation, a responsibility to go back into the 3rd dimensional world and behave as a higher dimensional being, not not necessarily talking about it, living these principles in your life. So let's do it. Now, there's some new people here, which is great. But there's also folks that have been here, and this is one of the advantages of going into a more private community, which we're going to be doing in the next few weeks, or certainly before the end of the year for sure, probably before Thanksgiving if I can. We're going to be moving to another community, and there will be members only meditations, and those will assume that we have a base of knowledge. So I'm going to give you this base of knowledge so that the next time we don't have to start from the beginning and go all the way through. We can just start from the sixth dimension. But for now, we're just going to do the full 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D. For those of you that have been through it many times, well, here it is again. So patience and bear with us. So we're going to start from the beginning. Again, if you're in a spot where you can close your eyes, relax your face muscles, your neck, your shoulders, any tension that you're carrying or any stress, just let it all leave your body. As always, if you feel your awareness projecting outward, your attention, your focus, your light is escaping outward, it's a very subtle thing, but I want you to reverse that awareness and bring your awareness back into your being, inside yourself. And once you lock your attention on the inside, I want you to sink like a rock, deeper and deeper and deeper within. Your inner sight gets deeper and deeper and deeper. Now imagine we're on an airplane. All of us have a window seat. It's our turn to take off. The pilot starts the engine. We race down the runway, and all of a sudden we start lifting up off the ground. And as we get higher, you can look out the window and you can see people. And you get higher, you can see like the highway, and you start to see cars lined up on the highway. You get higher, you can start to see the whole city. You can see the farmland around the city. You can see the lakes and the rivers. And as you get higher and higher, the plane keeps going higher. It eventually goes into the clouds. And when we're in the clouds, it gets dark and gloomy. There's mist on the windows. But the plane keeps rising. And pretty soon, the plane rises above the clouds. So it breaks through to the top of the clouds. And what do you see when you're above the clouds? All around you, blue skies in every direction. No limitations. Blue sky in all directions. The bright sun overhead, that's the fifth dimension. We'll be there in a minute. But the fourth dimension is above the clouds. The clouds represent mind. The third dimension is the dimension of mind. The fifth dimension is the dimension of light. The fourth dimension is like the icing in a layer cake between two layers. The fourth dimension is a flat dimension that is no longer mind and not yet light. You're in this spot where you're not just in the middle, just above mind. And everyone who's below mind, everyone who's on that 3D world below those clouds is operating on subconscious. They're just doing the same things over and over again. They're literally at the mercy of their subconscious. 95% of what they're doing all day long is repetitive, the same things over and over and over again, subconsciously. But you are above mind. You are a sovereign being of light, and you can choose your next thought. For those of you working with the thought matrix and the cycle of mind, just look at that thought matrix and put it right on top of the clouds and watch how the thoughts that you think, the structure of your thoughts begins to disappear and into the clouds, into mind, and how just the thought of just your thought matrix percolating down into the clouds changes the entire three-dimensional world. You don't see the change, it's a very subtle change, but every thought that you think goes into the clouds, and goes into the third dimension. Now, in the fourth dimension, it's frictionless, meaning you can see the third dimension, you see what's going on, but all the wavelengths and the emotion of doesn't percolate into the fourth dimension. You can see it, but it's frictionless. Nothing that's going on in the third dimension affects you in the fourth dimension. And you can also see that the sky all around you. There's nobody playing defense. There's nobody telling you what to do. There's no power structure here. There's no instructions. There's nobody telling you what to do or what to be or what you can or can't do. It's endless. Endless possibility, endless power. And I want you to notice, well, what you will notice in the fourth dimension is that the universe operates in much longer rhythms and cycles. Time is much longer than we think it is in the third dimension. In the third dimension, people are running around. They don't have any concept of the rhythms and cycles of the universe. The time, the seasons, the years, the circles around the sun. Things take time in the universe. And in the fourth dimension, you can start to align yourself with these much longer rhythms and cycles of time. You're not in a rush. And when you look down, you can see there you are. There's your body. And you can see that it's sitting in the chair. The eyes are closed. And it will not move until you give it permission to move. In other words, your body has no mind of its own, has no agenda. It's not trying to mess you up. It's not trying to get you in trouble. It's just sitting there waiting for you to give it instructions. And in the absence of instructions, it's been operating as it's been operating since you were 2 and 3 and 4 years old, subconsciously, completely unaware of what you've been doing or even what you have going on within you. So that third dimensional avatar, that body, is something that you can now control. And you can control this from the fourth dimension. And how do you control it? You plant seeds into that body, into that life, that third dimensional being. And what do I mean by seeds? New habits, new routines, new thought structures, new attitudes and mindsets. All of that can be planted into that avatar. In the fourth dimension, you have all the power in the universe. Nobody is playing defense. But there's an asterisk. You can only use that power to change yourself. Can't change the stock market, can't change politics, can't change the price of Bitcoin or your kids or your parents, can't change anything. But you can completely transform yourself. And this is where you have that power to make new, higher dimensional decisions about yourself over a longer period of time. For example, you can tell that avatar, I'm tired of starting a meditation practice, then quitting, starting and quitting. I don't like that anymore. I'm going to plant new seeds. I'm going to build a new spiritual practice every morning, every night, and I'm going to stay with it. You know why? Because nobody's playing defense. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. If you want to be healthier, just plant seeds of health, deep breathing, stretching, posture, energy flow, like we did that chakra activation meditation, changing your relationship with food. Who is stopping you from being healthier? Nobody. Nobody's playing defense. You can plant those seeds from a higher dimensional version of yourself. Because in the third dimension, the world is just coming at you. And you have to respond to it constantly. In the fourth dimension, you can see your life from above. You can see your own life stream. And you're not in the middle of it. But now you can plant seeds to change anything that you want about yourself. As long as you understand that the universal laws and rhythms of time are much longer than you may be thinking. You don't get healthy in a day. You get healthy over a period of months and years. Same thing. You don't have a spiritual practice just because you meditated today. You have a spiritual practice because you've been meditating over a period of weeks and months and years. That's how you have to think about your future. You're planting seeds today to have a new future, healthier, happier, more aligned, more abundant over the long term. That's the fourth dimension. Now, what's interesting about the fourth dimension is anybody can do that, because all we did was just do a little mental exercise. It's nothing more than a mindset switch. So anybody can go into the fourth dimension and have a new relationship with time, a new relationship with their own body and their own life, feel completely in control of your life, make whatever changes you want, feel confident, control, planning your future. Anybody can do that because all you had to do was switch your mindset. But the fifth dimension and above is different. And in the higher dimensions, you've got to bring your body along for the ride. You have to recondition your energy system. You have to clear space in your physical body and your emotional body, clear out the energetic blockages like we were talking about earlier. You recondition your body. Why? So you can start to anchor more light in this body. I can show you the fifth dimension. It is a mindset shift, but it's also a physical shift. And if your life is out of balance, doesn't matter how many times you do the meditation. If your three-dimensional life is way out of balance and emotional and traumatic, you're too dense. So the light is there, the energy is there, but you can't anchor it in your body because you haven't done that work to bring yourself to balance. You've got to learn how to be more heart-centered, less head-centered. Oh, I need to know the answer. I need to understand everything right now. I need to explain everything. I need to fix other people. I need to, convince people. I gotta understand. Like I have to have the answer. This need to know. This need to be right. This need to tell everyone else what you know. This need to fix everybody else. All of that is head centered. That again will not allow you to anchor the light. You've got to be more heart centered, more receptive, more allowing of the energies to flow through you and not projecting all the time. Got to learn to be more heart centered. And finally, the experience truly opens up to you when you're balanced, when you're heart-centered, and you've grasped the idea of unity consciousness. Because we're not ascending for ourselves, although it seems that way. It seems like we're learning all this so I'm learning all this so I can ascend. So I can be on the new earth and not get stuck on the old earth. So I can be healthier. You will be healthier. You will be happier. You will be more abundant, but you're not ascending for yourself. You're ascending for the collective. You're creating new energy patterns and new ladders and templates that people behind you can follow. Why, heck, if she can do it, I can do it. Right? You're creating energy that wasn't there before. So the work that you're doing is not for yourself, it's for the collective. And the work that we do as a collective is not for the collective, it's for the earth so that we can create a higher vibrational frequency. Because people misunderstand. They think we live on the earth. We are the earth. We are the same energy as the earth. If you think of the earth and all that electromagnetic energy going through the poles, through the center of the earth, we are that energy. We are that magnetism. We are that. We're not different from the earth. We don't live on the earth. We are a part of it. So when we ascend and we hold more light and we raise our own vibrational frequency, the earth itself is ascended that little bit. Now, every little breath that we take toward ascension is also helping the earth to ascend to a higher frequency. So it's the idea of unity consciousness. And if you're here for yourself, you're here, share it with you, but you're not going to be able to anchor it. You'll understand it. Maybe you will be able to anchor some of it, but you'll be veering off in the wrong direction because you're not part of a higher purpose, a higher collective purpose. So let's now rise into the fifth dimension, balanced, aligned, heart-centered, unity consciousness. So I want you to imagine yourself in the fourth dimension, blue skies all around, unlimited power. Power to do what? Unlimited power to change yourself. And I want you to see that light above, that is the light of the universe. All of it. If there's many universes, it's the light of all universes. It's all that there is, light. And as it descends, as you rise, it begins to connect or touch your outer energy field. And I want you to feel the light of the universe merging with your energy field. And as it descends deeper and deeper into your being, your energies lets go and it becomes the light of the universe. You are that same energy. You are all of it. And it weaves itself into your skin, your muscles, your bones. The light of the universe weaves itself into every cell in your body, into your DNA. There's no difference between you and that light of the universe. You are all of it. And I want you to eliminate your skin as a barrier and just imagine the truth that there is no barrier. You are as expansive as the sky, as expansive as the universe. You are all of it. Merge with the light. Let the light merge with you. Become that expansive light. All that expansive light is flowing within you and around you. You are all of it. I want you now to imagine that we're all linking arms together. And I want you to see, as soon as we link our arms together, how the light just brightens 1,000 times brighter in this little circle that we're making. And the light is just brighter and brighter and brighter. And our job individually is to let all that light through us without any obstruction. And if I can eliminate my obstructions and you eliminate yours and she eliminates hers and he eliminates, look how bright this light grows. And I want you to know that there are millions of people on the earth who are good people, kind, generous, hugging their kids, honest, being healthy. I want you to link arms with all of those people and see that we can create a web of light that covers the earth. And just feel all that light flowing through you. Feel that you already are that light, and it's in every cell in your body and in your DNA, and there's no barriers. You're just the whole thing, just expansive, all of it. Now let's keep rising through this light. And we're going to get to a space before the light was even created. The 6th dimension. Above us is a waterfall. That's the 7th dimension. We'll get to that in a minute. That's a dimension of pulsation. The 5th dimension is the dimension of brilliance or light. The 3rd dimension is the vibration of mind, the lowest dimension. The 5th dimension is the dimension of light, expansive, inclusive of everything, no limits. And the 7th dimension is the dimension of pulsation. And here's the thing. The 6th dimension is this impossible place that is connected to the pulsation of source, which is now just imagine a very narrow waterfall falling on your head. We'll talk about this more in a minute. It's where the universe hasn't been created yet. It's just source. It's just one energetic, living, magnetic pulsation. And when it's ready, boom, it explodes down below into the 5th dimension and all the zillion pieces of light. And some of those pieces of light go down into the 3rd dimension. And that's us. We're just a tiny little piece of source. And then just like the ocean, the wave crashes, it draws back. So the universe draws all that magnetic stuff back from the 3rd dimension, draws it in through the 5th dimension, draws it right back into that pulsation of source. It goes up into higher dimensions. The universe is recreated. and it comes down again in the seventh dimension where it pulses and then explodes into the fifth dimension, into a trillion different things. And now you are in this impossible place where above you is source, the pulsation of source, and right beneath your feet, you see all that light, that explosion of light into trillions of things, everything that is. And we'll come back to this sixth dimension. Let's talk now about this waterfall, this pulsation, this waterfall of pulsation and source. Have you ever seen like a super slow motion movie of a bomb? Well, when the bomb goes off, it goes, vroom, it draws in, like even like an explosion in the house, it draws everything inside, and then boom, it explodes. Well, that fifth dimension is that explosion. The seventh dimension is that drawing in, that just about to explode, but it's all drawn in together. That's source. We are now connected with source. This waterfall, I want you to feel this waterfall of source, living magnetism, pulsation, and feel that waterfall go right through your body. And know that this source, this pulsation of source, has geometric structure. The universe is structured. Don't worry about what the structure is or what the geometry is or 369. You can spend your whole life worrying about that. Don't worry about that. What I want you to do is know that this pulsing waterfall, this living magnetism that's pulsing and going through you, has geometric structure. So as it goes through you, it's essential that you eliminate any of your own geometry and simply align with the geometry of source and just allow all of the full power of source to flow through you. Imagine that waterfall is just hitting you on the head and just flowing right through you. You are fully connected to the living, pulsing magnetism of source. Just lean back into that and just allow source to flow through you. Any resistance or obstruction or any tension, just let it all go. No tension. Just let that source flow right through you as it was meant to flow through you. And as this source flows down, it comes in, and then boom, it blows out into the fifth dimension, into zillions of uncountable pieces of light. Now, that light isn't really light. It's part of that living magnetism, that explosion. All those little bits of living magnetism, in the fifth dimension, they appear as light or crystalline in structure. But when they get down to the third dimension and they go through the mud of mind, they go through the clouds and they go into mind, that living, that little tiny piece of, from the explosion, that little tiny piece of living magnetism presents itself as life. You and I, all the life around us, all the atoms themselves, living magnets. So what we're doing, let's go back to the sixth dimension now, because I want to spend a little bit of time on this. The sixth dimension is the dimension where time stands still. Why does time stand still? Because boom, it hasn't exploded yet. Nothing's been created yet. It's as soon as it blows into pieces, that's when time starts. Time stands still in the sixth dimension. There is only this moment. As you learn to embody the sixth dimensional presence, you can begin to bring this sixth dimensional present moment through all phases of your life. Imagine feeling time standing still. And now imagine you can stand up, you can walk down the hall, open the door, walk down the hall, up the stairs, down the stairs, all in the still present moment. If you're in six-dimensional awareness, you're in the present moment. There is no need to speak, no need to convince, no need to explain, no need to experience anything. Time stands still. There is only this present moment. A few other things about the sixth dimension. The sixth dimension is where we create timelines. We are establishing this collective that you're all in. This collective that we're in is established on the sixth dimension, on that plane, that flat plane of the sixth dimension. This is where we gather. We have access to source. We can at any time just lean back and allow source to flow through us. But what we can really do is we can create new timelines. And that's what we do with our group manifestation. We imagine a new timeline, a collective timeline. We envision this timeline. We all apply our magnetic energy to this timeline. Now imagine there's 10, 11, 12 of us here. There's a dozen of us here. Imagine we're all standing around magnetically. All of us are our magnetic selves now. We're our magnetic selves in the present moment, supporting one another magnetically, sharing this magnetic energy between us. And instead of just saying, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Great, good. Have a good weekend. Instead of all this shallow stuff, we're picturing a new timeline. And we're applying our magnetic attention and our focus and energy on this picture of this new timeline. And because we're building the timeline in the sixth dimension, this is important to understand, the power of source has no choice but to go right through the picture that we create. Notice what we're not doing in the sixth and seventh dimension. We're not talking about anything down there. It has nothing to do with what we're doing. That's all that. We're hammering and sawing and building in the sixth and seventh dimension as a collective. Not at all concerned with what's going on down there. We're concerned with the timeline that we're creating together here in the sixth dimension. So I want you to imagine, and here's the timeline that we're creating as a collective. And if you resonate with any of these three things, then you very well might consider becoming an inner member of the collective. Number one, imagine just three circles. A triangle, but three circles, a circle at the top and two circles at the bottom, forming like a little triangle. The first circle is we as a collective will be a center of excellence in book publishing. Why? Because literacy and education are one of the top priorities of our collective. We've got to get books back into people's hands. There are very powerful forces that are pushing down on literacy and education. We are going to be a force that pushes up on literacy and education because we're concerned with generationally, 50 years, 100 years, 200 years in the future, books have to be a thing. People have to be able to read. We need to maintain literacy, and we will within the collective. And we're going to do this by creating a magnetic vault of enlightenment wisdom and books that will help people. But most importantly, we want to preserve this enlightenment wisdom for future generations so that people 50 years from now don't have to poke around and find a video or a guru. You can just, you want to go to the sixth and seventh dimension? Here it is. Just read this book. We're gathering this enlightenment information and we're preserving it. So that's the first circle in the picture that we're manifesting. The second circle is the Utopia Collective, our collective, your collective, is a center of support and healing for parents and families. Now, we chose parents and families for an important reason, because if we can heal a parent, if we can get a parent into a healthier lifestyle, if we can get a parent onto a spiritual practice, then we can affect their children. If we can get a parent to be healthy, we can bring health to the whole house. If we can get a parent to be calm and balanced, we can bring a calm and balanced wavelength to the whole house. So by working with parents who need help, it's a 24-hour-a-day job. By working with the people that need the most help, we're not only helping them, we're helping future generations. If we can get books into the hands of parents, we can get books into the hands of these kids. And as these kids grow up, their children will be calm and balanced, and will generationally expand. And the third circle in this picture that's right there between us, the third circle is we're going to become a center of excellence of community and learning. So one of the things I said earlier about the collective is one of our challenges is each person that comes into the collective has their own ideas about what they want to do and what they want to be and what they their whole background and their whole belief system. We're walking around with 8 billion different realities. So each person that comes into the collective is not aligned with the collective yet. They don't know anything about us. So we will become excellent at welcoming them, giving them certain simple onboarding strategies that they can follow so that they can begin to align with the work of the collective. So it's about aligning them with our mission and our purpose and our energy and our culture, but it's also about teaching them so that they can build their own spiritual practice. They can be healthy. They can be aligned and authentic. So we're giving this learning in the community, and then we're also learning how to add lots and lots of different unique people into the collective and figuring out how we can grow and all bond together around this common purpose. So picture all of us magnetically standing around this picture of the three circles: a center of excellence in book publishing, a center of support and healing for parents and families, a center of excellence in building community and learning strategies. That's our timeline. And I want you to energize that timeline, magnetize it with your magnetic attention and energy. Put all your focus on those three circles until they begin to glow and brighten. Now, if we could look from the side, what we would see is here we are in the sixth dimension with this beautiful three circles, all bright and glowing. I want you to see those, the mission of the collective as those three circles going all the way down into the third dimension. But they don't like start here and then get thinner and thinner. They go straight down coherently, powerfully. So we magnetize this vision in the sixth dimension and we watch it go all the way down cohesively, coherently into the third dimension, almost like a comet hitting the third dimension. But then we drive this picture deep, deep, deep into the third dimension so that it builds roots and it grows. And a couple of things to notice. The more we magnetize this picture and see it driving coherently down into the third dimension, the more it grows roots and begins to manifest. Secondly, we're not fixing the problems of the third dimensional world. So when you join this collective, we're not going to go with a clipboard and say, okay, we got a problem in Ukraine, we got a problem here, we got a problem this, we got a patriarchy. You could list 1 trillion problems with the world. It's not my job, it's not our job as a collective to walk around with a clipboard and find out all trillion problems, then to come up with a solution to them. That's not what we're doing at all. We're not solving any problems. Notice I'm not even solving your personal problems. But what we're doing as a collective is we're creating an entirely new energy and transmitting that energy into third dimensional reality and just creating a new energy that wasn't there before. Whatever happens, that's not our job, right? Well, it is our job because it's expressing through us. But whatever happens, we don't know. I don't know what the future is. I don't know how we're going to become a center of excellence in book publishing or how it's going to look when we're a center of support and healing for families or what our community's going to look like 6 months from now or 6 years from now. Those things will happen and manifest in their own time. What we're doing is doing the work in the sixth dimension. We're not worried about the outcome in the third dimension. We're focused on the process and the steps we need to take to build a cohesive group manifestation in the sixth dimension. And again, here we are magnetically huddled around this beautiful picture of this new timeline. And watch, Source has no choice but to go right through the timeline that we're creating. That's how we're manifesting as a collective. And I think that's powerful. I think it's a powerful technology and a powerful we got some, as my wife would say, it's strong juju. It is powerful stuff. And there we go. Yep, design the future and inspire future generations. 100%. You answered your own question there, Mike. It's being revealed now because it's needed right now. All we're doing, and notice the one thing we're never doing here in this conversation. We're not talking about whatever's going on in the third dimension, because that's not what this is about. Our work is on higher dimensional planes. Can you stay in the sixth and seventh dimension forever? No, of course you got to X out of this live, and you'll go back to your life, and you'll be doing the laundry and taking care of the kids, and you'll be in life. But I want you to bring this knowledge and this wisdom and this alignment and balance that you feel, and this kind of higher level of energy and awareness into your third dimensional life. And each one of us has an important obligation to live a life of alignment, to live a life of kindness and generosity, to lift other people up, to be that very energy that we're manifesting, to be that very energy in our own lives, our own words, our own actions, our own thoughts and intentions. We've got to constantly, each one of us, work to be a better human, to be more aligned with the geometry of source and less projecting and convincing, because that's not what this is about. So each one of us has that obligation. And that's what I wanted to share with you for this workshop. And I'll open it to questions, thoughts, comments. I know I know, having done, lots and lots of meditation workshops, it's difficult when you feel a sense of alignment and bliss to then go and comment or ask a question, and because you just don't want to lose the energy. So I respect that as well. But if anyone has any questions or thoughts, please let me know. Thank you for being here, Derek. You're very welcome. Yeah, thank you for being part of it and adding your magnetic energy to the collective. Appreciate that. Just by way of commercial, Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, also here on Substack, we're going to do a deeper dive into one of the meditations. I have a feeling, I feel like, again, we're probably on Friday, we're going to do this chakra activation meditation and go deeper into that on Friday. So that'll be Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Brian, thank you. You're welcome, and thank you for being part of it and taking the leap into the unknown and not really knowing what this was going to be about. And hopefully it was about just what you wanted. There you go. You have a very lucky toddler, Mike, to have a dad like you. So that's awesome. I think I know, not that I think, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I thought Substack was going to be a great place for us to form a community. I got, like I said, about three weeks ago, all of a sudden the whole feed started to become political and complaining, and it was just too much for me. I don't want that. And I could see why a lot of people wouldn't want to spend time here. So Circle, when we move to this community in a couple of weeks, it's very private. The negative is there's no way to draw people in. We have to take a separate marketing effort if we wanted to draw people in. Like in Substack, people just see a post and they subscribe just out of the blue. That's not going to happen in this new community. It's very private. There's no social feed. It's just us. And when you're in the circle, it's just the sixth dimension. It's just about higher dimensional experience. And, obviously we can talk about, certain different things, of course, that are not always sixth dimensional, but you'll be invited. Well, first of all, I'm going to send a newsletter. I have like 5,000 people on Substack, and I'm going to send a newsletter telling them we're going to move our chat and our events over to Circle. So that's number one. But then there's going to be an inner circle. That's going to be the $10 a month thing. And if you have to be invited to that. And how do you get invited? Just show up. If I know your name, you're going to get invited. If I never heard of you, you're not going to get invited. So if you show up and you participate and you're consistent, you're doing the work. Okay, he's doing the work. Yeah, we'll bring him into the circle. And that's where we're going to do that will truly be the collective. The outer part will be for anybody else who's interested. There'll be lots of great resources. There'll be a chat. There'll be live events for those people. But those people in the outer part of it who do get involved will get an invitation to join the inner part of it. And that's the way I I feel like that's going to be better. And also the chat is just much better. I don't want to use Discord because a lot of people don't know Discord, but it's a lot more like Discord and a lot less like Substack. Substack's chat and community features are very, very weak. So there we go. All right. So Friday at 4 p.m., we're doing the meditation, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're doing the meditation workshop here on Substack. And then Sunday, 11 a.m., I think we're gonna do the cycle of mind again. Carolyn, I know that was helpful to you, so we're gonna do that again on Sunday, maybe for a couple of weeks. We're gonna focus our book club on the cycle of mind, and for those of you that are working on the thought matrix and subconscious reprogramming, we'll be doing that Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and then Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern is when we have our collective meeting. That's the meeting that will probably in the future just be for the private circle. But I don't know yet. So right now it's open to the public, and that's Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, it's going to be much better, Mike, and much better than the chat we have here. But it all depends on people plugging in and getting involved. And let me explain. Let me just explain one other thing, and then I'll let you go because I want to be sensitive to your time. The reason the third dimensional reality seems so real is because 8 billion people are putting their attention and focus and energy into it. That's the only reason it's real. It's just one possible timeline, one possible reality. We're designing an entirely different timeline in the sixth dimension, much more powerfully because we're using the magnetic power of source. So we're doing something different, a much more powerful manifestation. This is real to the extent that people unplug and plug into it. My light's plugged in there. Like that's, to me, that's my reality. And the more people that are here, the more times we do these lives, even if there's only 2 or 3 people here, just repetition, muscle memory, the more I'm anchoring. I told you months ago when I started the journey, my goal is to anchor in the sixth dimension. You have helped me anchor there. And now this collective will be like a magnet so that you can start to anchor in higher dimensions. This is just as real. The timeline that we created, the future we're creating for the collective, the circle, the chat, that is just as real as three-dimensional reality. And every time someone unplugs from that reality and says, I'm done with that, like that timeline doesn't work for me anymore, the minute you unplug, you don't see it, but that reality loses a little bit of power and loses a little bit of power and loses a little bit of power. If you take your light out of that reality and plug it into this reality gains power. And I'm telling you, this is the truth. This reality will be ours. You will start to understand what it's like to feel this six-dimensional magnetic power, not just during a meditation, but you'll start to feel it in your own body, in your own life. You'll start to see it. Like I see my grandkids. We just had, oh my gosh, hours today with our granddaughter. She's now just turning 6 months old. She's just a little baby, and all she wants is just our magnetic. She's just a little ball of magnets, and she's just so beautiful. And it's all you can do is hold her close to your heart, and that's all she wants. That's all children need is your magnetism, your presence, your comforting. They don't need words. They don't need to, play games and throw it. Yeah, that's fun. But what they really need is you, and they need you to be with them. And if you can learn to be present and have your full presence and your full awareness and that full feeling of your magnetic sense of who you are, that's all your kids need. That's all your wife or your husband needs. They don't need words or actions. They just need you. And that's what we all need to really connect with, and then to connect with the people around us. All right, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all. And there we go. You'll be notified. It's not going to happen today or this week or probably not even next week, but I really hope before Thanksgiving, I'm going to have that circle set up, and that's it. And we're going to send a couple of Substack emails. I'm still going to use Substack to capture new people that come in. But then we're going to transfer those emails over to Circle. We'll start emailing from Circle. But in the beginning, you're just going to get invited over there. And when you get invited over there, it'll be a different experience, maybe hopefully a little bit more interactive, a little bit less of me talking, broadcasting, and a little bit more of everyone talking to each other and little side projects going on. And, hopefully we'll grow as a community. So thank you all, everybody. Thank you for all the new folks that are here first time. Super happy that you're here. If you want more of this, it'll be Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Just keep your eye open for the newsletter that'll come out on Friday morning. Thanks, everybody. Great. Everyone have a great night. Oh, and if anyone wants to chat, just go on the Substack chat, ask a question, and we'll see you guys soon. So we can stay connected on Substack, or just see you on Friday at 4 p.m. That's okay too. Everyone have a great night. Take care, everyone. Stay healthy.